Teachers, what is a time you instantly regretted calling on a student? I teach first grade, which means most of my day is spent gently convincing very small humans that words follow rules. This particular week, we were learning about opposites, and I genuinely thought it would be the safest, most harmless lesson of the entire year. I was wrong in a way I will be thinking about until I retire. I started simple, hot and cold, big and small. The kids were loving it, shouting answers, very proud of themselves. A girl named Lottie raised her hand and asked why opposites even mattered, so I explained that knowing opposites helps us describe the whole world, not just half of it. Then a boy named Reed wanted to know if everything had an opposite. Good question. I said most things do, and we went around the room finding pairs. Up and down, open and closed, happy and sad. They were nailing it.
So I decided to make it a little harder, and I asked them to think of opposites at home. Day and night. Clean and messy. A little boy named Cooper raised his hand so fast he nearly fell out of his chair. Now every teacher has that one student, and Cooper is mine. The kid is a walking, unfiltered news broadcast of his entire household. The last time I called on him during sharing, I learned his mom's exact opinion of his aunt, so I hesitated. I really did.
But 30 other kids were watching, and his hand was waving like a flag in a storm, and I told myself, it is opposites. What could possibly go wrong? So I said, okay, Cooper, can you give us an opposite from your house? He sat up tall, deeply serious, the way kids get right before they end a career, and he said, my daddy says the opposite of his girlfriend is my mommy. The room did not react because they are 6 and had no idea. I, however, felt my soul leave my body. I said, okay, great example of, different people, let us think of more, and tried to move on. But Cooper was not done. He never is. He frowned, thinking hard, and added, and my mommy says the opposite of love is whatever my daddy feels when he forgets it is her weekend. I just stood there. A parent volunteer in the back corner slowly put down her clipboard. Cooper, sensing he had a captive audience, went in for one more. He said, oh, and the opposite of the truth is whatever my daddy tells the judge. I looked at the clock. It was 9:15 in the morning. I had 4 more hours with these children. I said, wonderful work, everyone. We are going to switch to coloring now. And I have never reached for the crayon bin faster in my life. At pickup that afternoon, Cooper's mom waved at me cheerfully and asked if he was behaving in class. I smiled, said he was a delight, and made a private vow that for the rest of the school year, opposites would simply not exist in my classroom.